Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. The legal battle between the United States Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple Inc. seems to have taken a significant twist following a recent discovery by Sam Lyman, that is Lyman, a renowned contributor at Forbes. You might be noticing a pattern, because I most certainly am. The amount of Ripple /SEC /XRP news is ballooning more and more every single day. This could be because we are getting indications that people in the know maybe know that the lawsuit is coming to an end. There have been multiple times. I think there's the one significant one is the Hinman documents, where basically everything that the SEC has tried to stop being released to the public by judge order now is going to be released, and people are figuring out things. You might have seen the video a day or two ago where that guy was apparently someone read through all of it, and he said that there were other things inside of it that basically stated that the SEC had a discussion about XRP. They came to the conclusion that XRP did not pass the Howey test, in that it was not a security. However, people are then asking, well, then why was a lawsuit filed against the company if they had allegedly done no wrongdoing? So as we get nearer to the time that we have been told could be the end of this seemingly never-ending lawsuit, and to be fair, it has almost been 3 years. If you really think about it in that way, it's absolutely terrible. But they're finding new things every single day, and it's coming to this point where, similar to 2017, 18, and most of 2019, Ripple was in the news every single day. It was very similar to the Shiba Inu, the Terra Luna Classic, the Cardano, and I guess to some extent the Bitcoin and Ethereum news. Like, it was so omnipresent every single day. Now we've gotten back to that point where we're getting all these crazy price predictions. For those of you who missed it, people are assuming the least crazy is that by the end of this year, we should be seeing a $4 XRP. And then the craziest ones I've seen saying that if we have passed by the lawsuit and Ripple has won, then therefore XRP will probably be $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, $11, $10, somewhere around there. And then as far as next year and the actual bull run, that's also an entirely different topic. According to Lyman, the SEC may have taken on more than it could handle in its lawsuit against the cross-border payment firm. Per Lyman, the SEC is hell-bent on proving that most cryptocurrencies are securities and must abide by the principles guiding security assets within the United States. However, past statements, internal documents, and public speeches have resurfaced, and they all seem to contradict the SEC's present regulatory stance on crypto assets. For those of you who didn't see, this was about a week ago, maybe even 2 weeks ago. People found that the current head of the SEC, Gary Gensler, was apparently a professor in a university. I want to say Harvard, but I feel like I'm giving him too much credit. Around 2017, 2018, and he basically stated that he had looked through all of the coins, at least until that point, and none of them were securities to him. At some point, he was NBA drafted by the SEC, and then he completely changed his stance and said that everything now needs to come under the control of the SEC, which to me just kind of lightly smells of corruption, but what have you. Lyman maintained that the SEC is conscious of the contradictions between its present and past principles guiding security and non-security assets, resulting in its recent attempt to conceal the details of some of its crucial judgment materials, especially the Hinman documents. Basically, the SEC has been keeping or hiding documents and has refused to show them, except for when the judge has basically mandated that they have to do so. This article actually continues for a very, very long time. It's more so that people are looking through all the documents, looking through past instances of what was said, what wasn't said, how things were guided and formed, and basically to where we are today. And a lot of people think that the SEC might have launched the lawsuit not only because they were trying to show that one of the largest coins could get under their control, but also trying to gain control of the entire cryptocurrency industry. And they weren't expecting such a kickback from the cryptocurrency community in that they are overstepping. That's kind of the one of the main things from this article and a lot of other articles is that the SEC seems to be scrambling to figure out a way to prove things that they have already disproved a number of years ago by simply stating, we are the SEC, we need more control over this asset class because, if not, we will be basically irrelevant. So constantly, always in the news. It's interesting to see like this really interesting, heavy comeback of this coin and of this company and the discussions of them going public and all this other stuff. And yeah. That's the SEC, XRP, Ripple. SEC is lying. People can prove it. Now we're just waiting for the lawsuit to be over. News. And yeah. Let's move on. Also okay, sure. Cardano, one of the biggest blockchain platforms, is gearing up for an exciting summer. In a recent YouTube video, Charles Hoskinson explained his vision for the project's future. Hoskinson's objectives for Cardano set high standards for its expansion and advancement, while emphasizing the importance of a regulatory certainty to the project's long-term success. Yeah, I made sure to mention that many other times before. A lot of people seem to not understand that the SEC is not only going after Ripple/XRP. They're going after the entire industry, but they're trying to take out the head honcho, the coin that was historically always coin number 2 or number 3. That is XRP. And if they can knock that one down, they knock down every other coin as well. And this is why we're also hearing a lot of the other projects now talking about, oh yeah, we need regulatory clarity, because they need it. They need to make sure that their projects will actually continue. If you think that Cardano will thrive if XRP loses that lawsuit, you are sadly mistaken. Gary Gensler has already said he wants control over the entire cryptocurrency space. Hoskinson has a wide-ranging plan for the upcoming summer. By forming strategic alliances, he can. So this is very Cardano, and this is also an indicator of the upcoming bull run. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but hear me out here. I've been here for a while. Cardano is a popular yet hypey project in that they've managed to figure out a way to continuously tell people that things are going to happen to the project, with the project, partnerships, new upgrades, new updates. And they, in my view, tend to announce that things are going to happen, say that there's no given date for them. And I for those who need clarity, I also hold ADA. I've been holding on to my ADA since, was it 2019, 2020? I think it's somewhere around that time. I mentioned that before. I have not sold any because I do assume at some point, based off of hype cycles, it is going to hit $5 to $7, what have you. However, usually before we have a major run up in prices, Cardano always tends to do a thing where they say, or rather Hoskinson, we have new updates, we have new upgrades, we have new things coming. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be fantastic. You won't believe what's coming. And people will ask for dates and time, and they go, well, we don't know the dates and times, but you better believe that it's definitely coming and it's going to be amazing. And we tend to always hear, I personally believe that they are done with these upgrades and updates maybe a week after they actually announce them, but they never actually begin releasing them, and that is them plural, because they wait for the actual bull run to happen. So Hoskinson has announced that in the coming weeks he will be announcing a number of things for the Cardano network. This should improve its smart contract functionality and broaden the project's ecosystem. Cardano hopes to establish itself as a scalable, safe, and long-lasting blockchain platform. Can you imagine if they had announced that they don't want it to be scalable? They would love a network that is not secure and maybe one that only lasts for about a good 16 weeks. I love when people say the obvious. You know, why would Cardano be saying otherwise that they don't want their project to... Besides these ambitious objectives, Hoskinson highlighted the need for regulatory stability in the crypto industry, stating that he is aware of how important it is to operate in compliance with legal requirements to support innovation, protect consumers, and ensure the long-term viability of cryptocurrencies. I wonder how many of these higher ups from these projects have received a letter from the SEC at some point, because the motto 2 or 3 years ago was decentralization, no regulation, all those kind of things. But now a lot of and this is not just a Ripple thing, it's kind of everyone, even Buterin at some point has come forward stating, you know, we need to make sure that people are protected, proof of reserves, and all these other kind of things as well. Kind of fascinating how time works. Governments may foster a climate that encourages the growth and use of cryptocurrencies while upholding the required safeguards by establishing clear rules and regulations. Yada yada. In his latest video, Hoskinson touched on many changes and ideas that would be unveiled in the coming weeks. Typical Cardano. We have big news, fantastic news, crazy, big, amazing. You won't believe it how large this news is news. But we can't tell you now, it's in the coming weeks. And coming weeks could imply 4 weeks. It could be 10 weeks. It could be 12 weeks. That's 3 months away. He did not want to reveal any spoilers, but stated these improvements might help the blockchain's native token ADA outperform Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all other cryptocurrencies. It will not. However, whatever the upgrade is, it will cause a kicking up of dust, if you will, and a lot of people will become quite excited for the project, as they always do. The significant Vasil update has already improved the blockchain's adaptability and scalability. The previously disclosed CIP 1694 idea was among the video's standard points. So yeah, Hoskinson has announced that new things are coming to Cardano. He hasn't said what's coming to Cardano, and none of it has been revealed and is going to be revealed in the next coming weeks. I give it May, June, I say end of July. We're probably going to hear exactly what they are. And then the test nets will begin to get deployed around August or September. Around December, we will hear that they're near the final test net. This is usually how it works out. And then by January, February, if cryptocurrency prices have risen in accordance with the idea that we are near the halving, therefore, then Cardano will begin to actually announce and say, hey, this will be launching on the 8th of February. This is launching on the 16th of March. It's always the same, but it works. That's how the project, and this is once again, and I say this in the matter of, in the past, we've had other cryptocurrency projects who did the same thing. It's almost like a stringing people along, but they never actually updated their coins or their blockchains. Cardano, while lightly glacial in pace, actually releases their upgrades and updates. The blockchain is working. It's had no downtime. It hasn't had a 51% attack. It's still going strong. They have NFTs and ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and all that seems to be working. So this is why I still hold my ADA, because it's like, I do believe that there are other projects that are stronger. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I may be the most incorrect person on the planet, but regardless of how long it takes them to have an upgrade or an update, they always do, and it always ends up working. So yeah, I'm excited by the end of the summer to hear what these upgrades are going to be and how long they're going to take. But eventually they will get there, because that's the spirit of Cardano. It's true. It's really weird. Okay, that's the big, mega, ultra crazy updates coming for Cardano news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in popular news, leading crypto payment firm Ripple has reportedly acquired a minority stake in Bitstamp, one of the oldest cryptocurrency exchanges, and they've acquired it from Pantera Capital, a hedge fund specializing in cryptocurrencies. The transaction was disclosed in the first quarter report of Galaxy Digital, a crypto investment management firm, which was released in early May. According to the report, Galaxy Digital stated that it advised Pantera Capital on the sale of its stake in Bitstamp to Ripple Labs in the first quarter. The deal comes as Galaxy Digital's investment banking team achieved record success in the past year, solidifying its position as a leading investment bank for amazing. Who cares? So the news is that Ripple has bought another company. If you haven't been here for the last couple of months, Ripple is buying up tons of companies. Ripple has expanded outside of the United States, which I've been telling them, not that they were listening to me, but I was saying that they should be doing that since around 2018, 2019, and definitely in 2020 when they were slapped with that lawsuit. To simply go other places, do other things, work in other countries, and it's worked out great for them. They're currently in 20 plus different countries are utilizing almost said XRapid. It was same exact thing, XRP in some sort of way. And now we've had news recently that they're acquiring tons of companies in some sort of way, minority stakes, majority stakes, and or the entire company in its entirety, which is leading a lot of people to believe that when the lawsuit is over, even though they already announced this, that they're going to be going public as well. So yeah, not much more to this story. I assume they acquired a piece of Bitstamp because it is a crypto exchange and they want their slice of the pie. If the cryptocurrency market continues to expand and more people keep using Bitstamp, well, therefore, of course, you're going to make sure that you get a piece of the money that's flowing through the exchange as well. Is the next one the same exact thing? Nope. That's the Ripple has purchased a piece of Bitstamp, one of the oldest crypto exchanges from like 2014 or something like that. You know, what have you. All right. Let's move on. Also in optimistic news, Vetlunda, is it Vetla? That is Vetlelunde. It sounds German, so I'm going to say Vetlunda. A senior analyst at K33 Research stated in a recent interview that Bitcoin, the world's #1 cryptocurrency, is following the same pattern it did in 2019. What? And that the asset could wind up hitting $45,000 per coin by the... Oh, that's rather optimistic. By the end of this month, I assume they mean June, or by next month. It says it makes sense if it followed the footsteps in the last 4 years. 2019 was an interesting year in many ways, given that it followed 2018 naturally, which up to that point was one of the world's not the worst for Bitcoin. However, nobody could have thought anyone could have outclassed into 100%. I don't really know what to really say here. It's more of a everyone is quite hyperly optimistic that Bitcoin is getting ready to do some type of a major move. You've seen the video titles, you've seen the thumbnails. Now watch it on the big screen. Anyway, you've seen, the titles of these videos, and I make sure that in the actual videos I show you the things that I'm saying, like mega, super, ultra cool, amazing things about to happen, because everyone keeps thinking the exact same thing. But for some reason, the last 2 weeks have been a really big optimistic push upward. I don't know what's really causing it. I'm not sure if it's the eventual idea of the interest rates stopping or falling, or inflation falling, or money being printed to help out banks, because there was another bank that got into trouble like about a good week ago or something like that, or what exactly it is, or if it's simply just us moving up to the next halving. But $45,000 per Bitcoin is incredibly optimistic. I would not, however, be sad if this happened, as that is nearly a doubling in price, which means the altcoins would also go completely insane as well. But this is kind of giving me the same feeling of, what was it? That guy who said that Bitcoin was going to $1 million in 5 weeks or something like that. I get the optimism. I really do understand, but a lot of times you have to be more realistic. I could totally see a $35,000 Bitcoin by the end of June. I could see as we near August, Bitcoin's at 42,000. Some ups and downs. At some point whatever. But by the end of this month, 45. It's always a bit of a stretch, and I wonder where these people are getting their numbers from. We would need a number of catalysts to perfectly take place in sequential order for Bitcoin to actually get to. I mean, I appreciate the optimism every single day. It is far better than going over news that Bitcoin's going down to 21,000, 13,000, or has to touch 5,000 once again before it can skyrocket back up. So yeah, this is another notch in the belt of the last couple of weeks every single day. There are multiple people who are talking about that they believe that Bitcoin is going to hit some high number in the next, and like that would literally be 3 to 4 weeks or something like that. So yeah, I can't predict the future, but it would be nice. That's the Vetterlunda, senior analyst at K33, thinks that Bitcoin is going to $45,000 relatively soon. If we get to $45,000 by the end of this month or next month, by December we should be at 70, 80,000 if that's the logic that's floating around, which then gives us by 2025 that is a $700,000 Bitcoin. Yeah, see, it's a bit intense, right? Okay. All right. Let's move on. Also in the news is Fabio Panetta, a member of the Executive Committee of the European Central Bank, recently announced that the European Commission would be presenting a legislative proposal for the digital euro in June. He further stated that the next steps would be decided sometime in October. In an interview with the ECB's official site, Panetta confirmed that the Eurozone Bank is in regular contact with the European Commission to establish a regulatory framework for the digital euro. The digital euro is set to become the official central bank digital currency for 27 countries within the European Union. If you weren't here at the beginning of the year, this is now the 2023 has been well established as the year of the central bank digital currency. In that, we saw a rather obvious amount of heavy regulatory action and backlash from regulators in January, in February of this year against multiple cryptocurrency companies, cryptocurrency exchanges. And I assumed that it had to do with the fact that they were probably trying to get everything in order and scare people out of the market or whatever they're trying to do to make sure that when they do release their central bank digital currencies, everyone kind of falls in line, if you will. That's kind of the nice way of saying it. And as such, we have seen a number of countries announcing that they're going to be doing stuff. We have the Fed Now thing, where the American Fed is trying to digitize and will be making a central bank digital currency, but that probably won't be released for another 2, 3, 4 years within the U.S. I feel like it's going to take them a very long time just because of historical, regulatory, anything. But Europe is kind of at the center or the forefront of the countries who are actively trying to do it in real time, announcing that they're trying to actually get the test pilots launched sometime around next year. So I assume a full rollout 2025. Also, a little on the nose when it comes to doing it during the bull run and all that other stuff that's currently floating around. Panetta stated, "We are studying the design of the digital euro, its distribution, and its impact on the financial sector." He also mentioned that the proposal, expected to be presented in June, would receive a response from the Governing Council of the European Central Bank sometime in October. The Governing Council will then decide whether to initiate a preparation phase to develop and test the digital euro. According to Panetta, the European Central Bank digital currency testing phase could last 2 to 3 years. Okay, relatively believable. Don't really have to read much more. The article actually does continue going on for a while as well. I still don't understand. So this was actually one of the most popular news stories out there. Whenever there is central bank digital currency news, or a country not trying to stamp out Bitcoin, but it's more like we know why they're creating these things. It's not meant to help their citizens. It's meant to gain some type of extra control from the government monetarily over their citizens. But it always ends up being popular. Years and years ago, a lot of people conflated the idea of countries working with blockchain as an acceptance for Bitcoin. And it's like, no, they don't want any control slipping away from them. This is why they're trying to extra digitize everything to make sure that they can even, have extra capital controls when it comes to people trying to put their money into the market, so that they know explicitly where you've been spending or sending your money. So hyper dystopian in this way, but alas, at least we have Bitcoin. I don't know. I couldn't spin that into a positive thing for some reason, but yeah. So sure. They're not the only block of countries who are doing this. We have I think Russia's doing it. China's already done it for like the past 2 years. If you look into the actual adoption rate of central bank digital currencies in countries that have already launched them, it's not good. It's actually quite interesting. A lot of people in these countries simply just aren't using them, find no use for them. So a lot of countries are trying to figure out ways for their banks and institutions to use these digital assets, and therefore they can say like, oh yeah, see, people are using them, but the general public doesn't really have a need to swap out their cash or to simply like initiate a transfer in some sort of way with a digital currency when you can just simply tap or swipe your card because the money's already digital. Anyway, that's the digital euro is nigh. I mean, if you consider like 2 to 3 years nigh, then, nigh. And yeah, let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Jimmy, American Crypto Academy, Martin Stoyer, Bodie McBoatface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, and let's move on, Empire Queen, Roman Geba, Bitcoin Ben Arachno, Dave the Dealer, Zen Captain Summing in the Z-Way, Lay, Mobarazi, VB Nerd 21, Lauren De Silva, Quoted, Biddy, Troy, Allgood, Space Case, Nita Miracle, Pattern, Noster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Adam Graysick, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Setsuna, Paxis, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Macho Nisa, and On Crypto with Lionel. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone out there who has left a like, who has left a comment, who has left multiple comments. I see you every single day. I can't respond to all of you as there are a lot of you out there, but I do thank you sincerely, very much so, for your continued support. I do hope that you've all enjoyed this weird cryptocurrency news video, because the space just gets more and more ridiculous every single day. I do hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, or great evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.